Oh god. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, Jesus. I have a new fear. Generic Control in the Duck Goesmoo here, back with some more Death Battle. Today we are starting Season 10. It is finally back. It's been like 4 or 5 months since the last Death Battle, but today we're watching Ant-Man vs. Adam. I'm not very familiar with Adam at all. I know that there was a recent movie called Black Adam that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was in. I'm not sure if there's any correlation between those two, and I actually saw the most recent Ant-Man movie, or the third Ant-Man movie. I haven't seen any other ones, and I haven't really watched Marvel since the whole Thanos chapter ended. But you want to check my reaction to the last one, which was Gogeta vs. Vegito. I'll leave it right up there. Also, be a link down below in the description. Also, going to place my channel with all my other Death Battles going in chronological order. If any of them are skipped, it's because I skipped them, most likely due to spoilers. My current record is 84-52. Shout out to Core for keeping track of that. He's one of my patrons. Like these wonderful people down here, they get the videos a day early. Laptop and I have a paywall channel. I do all these videos. I'm actually fitting this in because I haven't been uploading 3 videos on Wednesday. I'm also going to be streaming today at 5 p.m. playing. It's going to be starting Pokemon Emerald Randomizer Nuzlocke. Hopefully I can get past the first gym. The past 2 weeks have been terribly unlucky, but it makes it great content. It's been a great time for me and everybody watching. It's a real fun time, so definitely stop by for that. But like I said, you can come on Patreon and get these videos a day early. I'm recording this on Monday. Patrons get it on Tuesday, and the public gets it on Wednesday. I'm completely against paywalls. Hope you're subscribed to some of future videos. Hopefully I can keep this schedule up. Also, my best friend Kirby, Dragon Ball Z Bridge on Saturday, a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. But let's go ahead and jump into Ant-Man versus Adam. All right.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp and
Okay.
Mint Mobile.
Got that dual sponsorship going, because that ad revenue ain't cutting it. But my current record is 84-52. I don't know who Adam is.
Marvel's
I've only seen the third
founding
Ant-Man
member of the
movie.
Avengers.
The Atom, DC's legendary Mighty Might.
He reminds me of
Good
the Flash
things
a
come
little
in
bit.
Small packages.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That's
We're just
definitely
trying to
not
get these
a
out of
Marvel
the
or
way.
DC movie.
He's Wiz and I'm
Oh,
Boomstick.
dude, it's good to be
Our
back.
jobs analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I don't know who would win a death battle. You know they're gonna come back like
Did you know
crazy.
that ants can lift 50 times their own body weight? That'd be like if you lifted a car straight over your head.
I did, thanks to my fun fact of the day calendar. Also, Hawaiian
Okay.
pizza was invented in Canada yesterday.
Haven't had pizza
Well, I bet your
since
calendar didn't tell you
2016.
that Dr. Henry Pym, aka Hank, was
Yeah.
considered a genius at a
I was able to pick that up
very
from
early
watching the third
age.
movie.
By 3 years old, doctors declared
Kind of.
that he was smarter than both his parents combined.
He eventually majored in
That's
biochemistry
flex.
and became one of the most
Well, this is
successful
Hank.
scientists in his
135,
field.
wow.
He had big ideas about shrinking the size
Top 5
of cargo
smartest
to
people.
reduce shipping costs. Logistics.
Oh,
All
wait.
of which made him a laughing stock in the scientific community and
So was
sparked a
he Ant-Man
long-lasting
before-
insecurity
I
and
think
need
the
to
name is
prove
Scott
himself.
took it.
But he did it. He developed a working serum. He went from laughing stock
Ah.
to Christmas stocking. The much better stock, right behind Bean and Live.
So naturally, he tested the
About
serum
the
on
market.
himself.
Oh, yeah,
Any
that's what you do.
self-respecting scientist
Yeah.
would, and shrank down to the size of an ant.
And
That's
just when
terrifying.
things started going south, a sweet little ant, let's call her Aunt Hathaway, swooped in
Aunt
and led Hank
Hathaway.
safely back to his lab where he could return to full size.
Hank then harnessed the serum and became the superhero Ant-Man. Along
Which
with his
is
new
a
identity
crazy-
came a fascination
What
in
year did these
entomology,
comics come out? They
which
look a little
makes
old.
total sense. Ants are fascinating.
Did you
They
know
are.
that ants can talk to each other in a bunch of different ways?
Yep.
Through touch, sound, or even sharing information by barfing at each other.
It's actually called
Barfing.
trophallaxis, and they're not barfing per se. It's more like passing food mouth to mouth.
Gross!
That's gross.
Hank figured out how to communicate with his new pets, not by barfing, but by creating a cybernetic helmet that mirrors an ant's antenna. And he's even
Oh.
developed genuine
Hey, that's the movie I
relationships
saw.
with some ants, like Ulysses S. Ant here.
But he didn't stop there.
Ulysses
Hank
as
developed a lot of
Grant.
amazing tech, like a
Ant.
stinger pistol that focuses his bioenergy into a stun.
DC characters
and
usually,
image
like,
inducing
cracked out of their
camouflage to
mind.
mask himself as an ant. It worked so well it fooled Reed Richards, the smartest guy on the planet.
He also built a suit
Oh,
that
he
runs on
was-
that nifty serum
Oh,
he made
God.
back in his lab.
Who was
it lets
Reed
him
Richards?
shrink thanks to the newly discovered
That Fantastic
Pym
Four?
particles, named after himself. Classic
wow.
Hank.
And the Pym particle is the key to unlocking the fundamental constants of the quantum mechanics at play here.
Oh, God.
They enable you to decrease the distance between atoms. However, in
Huh?
order to do that, he'd have to change the Bohr radius, the ratio of electron mass to the distance
Oh,
the electrons
God.
orbit an atom.
High school's coming back to me.
Of course. Like how when you make a bagel pizza, you can't fit the whole pizza on the bagel. Believe me, I've tried. It's too small. You just gotta put less on.
Sure.
I mean,
Boomstick.
who says the
So
pizza has to be a
Pym
certain
particles are actually
size?
displacing mass to an alternate dimension in order to maintain that ratio.
Oh, it's like having a second bagel to put the rest of your pizza
Yeah,
on.
I saw that in the
get
movie.
it.
But if
Which
that
is
were true, he shouldn't be able to punch with full-size strength if he has less mass.
And he's definitely lighter, because otherwise he'd crush the sweet ants he rides, like Vincent Van Gogh here.
His mass is being
Jesus
replaced with massive
Christ.
neutrinos.
Are
But
they
that
actually
doesn't
there's no way they're
adequately
actually
explain how he
called that.
can have less mass and seemingly more mass at the same time.
Sure it does, Wiz. Trust Pim.
Is
and
it
his
time
particles.
travel?
Look at the guy. He's explaining the whole thing while wearing a lab coat. What's more trustworthy than that? You're the exception.
You think you understand this?
Nope.
Of course.
Not at all.
Small but strong. You said something about a boar, so I guess you wanted ham on that pizza, but I already made the pizza.
Will you take that coat off?
No.
The glass is upside down. Okay.
Regardless, there is virtually no limit to Hank's ability to shrink.
Scott,
he can go
shrink down
beyond
smaller.
subatomic, down to the underspace, a plane of
The
existence below all realities in the Marvel Universe.
Huh?
And Hank has literally changed his biology. He's rewritten his own chemical makeup to prevent anyone else from changing his size. And he's used Pim
Wait,
particles
what?
so much,
Nobody
he's
can-
now got an energy field around him that lets him change the size of people or objects on the fly, through touch or by straight up
How do you-
firing Pim particles in the air.
He's never shy
Wow.
about using them either. He eventually supplied his wife, Janet Van Dyne, with some Pym tech to become the Wasp, his partner in crime
Oh.
fighting.
The two ended
Okay.
up rubbing shoulders with A-listers like Thor, Iron Man, and the
A-listers.
Hulk to take down Loki. Ant-Man and the Wasp were actually the ones that captured him and pitched the idea of forming the Avengers.
God.
Unfortunately, Hank's insecurities started
Wait,
to
where's Captain
creep
America?
back
I thought he
in,
was the
and
first
he felt
Avenger.
that if he wanted to keep up with the big heroes, he was going to have to think bigger.
Enter a bunch of those
Oh, so he
Pym-powered
can get
alter
bigger.
egos like Yellow Jacket and Giant Man, where he can grow anywhere from 12 feet tall to so big he can enter the overspace, the polar
What is-
opposite of the underspace.
Then
How,
he met
dude?
Eternity, who called him
What?
Earth Scientist Supreme. Something he won't let you forget.
Hank pushed himself
Was the
to these
galaxy
insane
talking to
heights,
him?
even though he knew the strain on his body could be fatal.
But he simply didn't care and kept pushing himself. Thus, his greatest and worst creation was born. Ultron.
Yep, all the Tin Man
Wait,
Tron was
Ant-Man created
by Hank,
Ultron?
not Tony like the movies. But the mass murder button.
You learn something new every day.
The same. Big swing and a miss there.
The fallout from Ultron left
Wow.
Hank in a bad place, to say the least. His guilt made him feel like an
Wow.
utter failure, and that his best work was behind him. This led Hank to do unspeakable things.
Oh, God.
A real low-life
Oh,
move.
domestic violence.
And even though poor mental health doesn't excuse this behavior, it was
No.
clear that Hank needed help. He suffered multiple mental breakdowns, endured the physical toll of the Pym particles, and had bipolar disorder that went undiagnosed for years.
That's
So
a great
Hank finally
combination.
did the best thing he could. He acknowledged his problems, got the help he needed, and committed to self-improvement.
And
Oh,
with that help, Hank
okay.
slowly started making things right.
good.
He rebuilt the West Coast Avengers, gave Scott
What do you
Lang
mean the
his
West
blessing
Coast
to become
Avengers?
the second Ant-Man.
They're just 3 hours
and
behind?
finally defeated Ultron.
He created a backdoor Trojan infiltration code to defeat Ultron that was so advanced, it went on to replicate and evolve all on its own to create a new species made up of artificial intelligence.
They don't
That's
call him
scary.
the god of modern AI for nothing. Hank has
I didn't
shown
know they
over
called
and
him that.
over again that he's an integral part of the Marvel Universe.
Not just by ways of his scientific contributions or victories in battle, but by proving that heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
So, we're not... Okay.
This episode is sponsored by
Okay, BetterHelp.
It can be
I'm not
easy
gonna
to
make
spend all
you
your
sit
time
through
with-
and watch through an ad, just because these videos
10%
are
off your first
more than
month.
likely to get
That's
copyright claimed by
BetterHelp,
Rooster Teeth like they usually do, which means I
HTTP.com/death
get 0
battle.
revenue from this video, so shout out to the patrons. Also, the people in the
Ray Palmer
subreddit
was
that have said
born
nice
the
things about
average
me,
human-sized
thank you,
person.
I see those.
He grew up in the Northeast, studied physics
180
at
pounds,
Ivy
6 foot.
University, and did everything Mama and Papa Palmer told him to do.
Okay.
Probably.
Everything was
Oh, probably,
pretty typical
okay.
for Ray until one fateful night when he
He's
took a walk
jacked.
to take his mind off a frustrating experiment and saw a meteor fall from the sky.
He ran off to the crash and found himself a life-changing piece of a white dwarf star, and immediately started messing around with it.
Huh?
Who wouldn't?
He discovered that he could focus ultraviolet rays through it and shrink inanimate objects.
Oh, okay,
There was
so they
just
both
one
had the power
problem.
to shrink
When he
or
shrunk
probably
things,
grow.
they exploded. Every time.
I do not see the problem. Sounds like he found a foolproof way of blowing stuff up.
How long do they
Ray
take
was
to
determined
explode?
to figure out how to shrink objects without blowing them up. But first, he went on a hike with his nature club. And as a fellow scientist, I have to question his priorities.
But hey,
Yeah.
it seems to work for
You
him.
get
I
basically
support it.
superpowers and
Different
you're like-
hikes for different mics, am I right?
While in a cave,
know who
the
that guy
ceiling
is.
suddenly collapsed, trapping everyone inside. After searching high and low for another exit, Ray found a small opening and had an idea. He could try to shrink himself down and get help, even if it meant he might explode.
Yeah,
before
bro,
he
why
got
would
the
you-
chance.
But he didn't explode.
Talk about a
Now,
gamble.
this story has a happy ending, at least.
Perplexed, Ray determined there must have been something special about him that made him uniquely immune to the explosive fate. Something
What
super
is it?
scientifically convenient that we never get any more information on.
So he got
Wait,
to work
so
and
it's a
created
literal
himself a
plot
suit
armor.
to harness the power
Okay,
of the White
or
Dwarf
just-
star
it just
and
makes sense.
became
Got it.
The Atom.
Adam uses the white dwarf fragment
Okay.
to decrease his size while having control over
So I guess
his
that has nothing to do
senses,
with Black
which
Adam.
makes a lot of sense considering that white dwarfs have the mass of a star, like the
But
sun.
they're dense.
But their volume is more like the Earth's, making them among the densest objects in space.
Just a teaspoon of
Okay.
the stuff could weigh up to 100 tons.
What?
That's one strong spoon.
That's very
When
dense.
Adam shrinks and shifts his weight, he's actually sending his extra mass to a dimension called the mass zone.
Okay, now
where,
we're still doing
Adam
dimensions.
Could maybe live forever. At one point, Ray's apprentice Ryan Choi was murdered by Deathstroke, but willed
Slade,
some of his
got it.
mass to the mass zone and was able to survive in that dimension. So these guys can potentially cheat death, but would be stuck there without any outside help.
But from one scientist to another,
So is
what's
that a-
most
is that a
impressive
loss?
Is Ray's creation of the bio belt.
That right there
That's
tells
what
me
allows
that I
Adam
think
to use
Adam
the
might
power of the
win.
white dwarf and shrink while maintaining any weight from immaterial to his full 180 pounds. There's even been times where it's stated that he was able to become almost as dense as a white dwarf star itself for a few seconds.
The belt is also how he can travel through phone lines or through the air on currents or lightning.
Huh?
Over time, Ray
Through
has
the
spread out
air?
the white dwarf power to other parts of his suit, and now the bio belt acts as a utility belt for his shrunken weapons and tech.
Oh,
It
that's
also
actually kinda
prevents
cool.
his
It's like
size
the,
or mass from being altered
like
by
the
any
capsules from
outside
Dragon Ball.
forces.
And while he can
Which
only
Dragon Ball
increase
Z
his
Bridge
size
on
back to
Saturdays
his
at
natural
Kirby.
6 feet in height, his ability to shrink is near limitless. He can travel between subatomic space to the microverse, the foundation of
Okay.
all reality in the DC universe, where atoms become the size of planets.
Typically, he can increase
that
back to his
smaller
normal
than-
size with such force he can smash through
is it
diamonds.
smaller? It might be
So if
smaller.
Adam increases his size too much while still within the microverse,
I don't know.
he could blow up the entire fabric of reality from the inside out.
Shrinking
Oh,
down to that
that's
size
fine.
means that he can shrink small enough to rearrange atoms themselves.
Yep, Ray can take individual molecules and rapidly expand them to cook up a small nuclear blast in the palm of his hand.
Or I'm pretty sure he could
Oh,
cure cancer
Ray
in people.
Palmer. I just got
Pretty
that.
sure he could do that
He
too.
also once disarmed a bomb by rearranging its atoms. At that size, he can move at the velocity of light. So fast and so randomly, he basically acted as a barrier between any and all possible atom combinations. But come on, there's no scientific explanation here for him to have superhuman senses or awareness to comprehend being everywhere
Did he get bit by
at
a
the same
spider?
time.
Ah, it makes total sense. If you're small enough, you can fit in almost everything, everywhere, all at once. Like how you can fit an entire pizza into a calzone, and then you have a whole pizza everywhere inside.
Never
the
had a
calzone.
calzone.
Man, I get it. Science is pizza.
No! Science is all I have! Why are you doing this to me?
On top
Science
of
is
all of
pizza.
Ray's
Is
amazing
it?
inventions
I don't
and
know.
abilities, he's also got some more classic weapons, like a laser blaster and a frickin' sword he used to fight a giant crocodile. Relative to his size.
That
Oh,
was when Ray
okay.
was believed to be dead,
The
but
swamp
was
puppy.
actually just stuck at 6 inches tall and stranded in the Amazon rainforest, where he encountered an alien race known as the Catarthans.
And get this, he
Wow.
ended up leading a rebellion against their tyrant
The riding
king
frogs.
and became the ruler of all the Kardashians.
And his heroism didn't stop there. The Atom was a very well-respected
Wow.
hero, and was even asked to join the Justice League of America
Did he?
shortly after.
Did
it
he
was
say
formed.
yes?
He fought alongside Batman.
I'm guessing
and his
yes.
best bud, Hawkman. And you don't
Hawkman?
fight with those guys without picking up a thing or two.
Listen to his
Impressive
judo.
combat skills aside,
Olympic
Adam's
level
greatest
gymnast?
contribution to the legendary team was always his incredible mind.
He once created kryptonite inside of Superman by realizing that if he gathered up enough Kryptonian
Then I was
protons,
talking about
they would
cancer.
eventually become radioactive.
While stranded in limbo, Adam realized that if the Flash sped up the rate of a nuclear reaction's stellar evolution to exhaust its core, they could turn a fire demon into a black hole and use it as a wormhole to get back to Earth.
He's a brilliant, hard-working,
Okay,
and determined scientist
that's
that never stops
bonkers.
working on a problem until he's found a solution. I mean, if I figured out how to blow stuff up as well as he did, I would have stopped right there. I'm the hero that blows stuff up. Wouldn't even need to change my name.
Yeah.
Ray Palmer lived
have an
the dream,
explodey
going
gun.
from research scientist
It
to
shrinks
legendary
things and
superhero.
explodes.
He picked up the pieces
Honey,
presented
I
to
blew
him
up
and
the
built
kids.
something greater than the sum of its parts.
Who knew this tiny titan with massive brains would have just as much brawn to back it
Oh,
up?
what are those effects?
This
Mint
episode of
Mobile,
Death Battle
which
is sponsored
I'm pretty
by
sure got sold. I'm not gonna make you sit through the ad. I'm not going to. I hope everyone play. Like I said, I'll be live stream today.
That's mintmobile.
Pokemon Emerald Randomizer Nuzlocke. Current record is 84 and 52.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data
I
through
don't-
all possibilities.
It's
84 and
time for a
52.
death battle!
Hopefully we can start off this season with a win. I'm gonna go with Adam. Oh. Okay.
Pick on someone
Do we got
your
good
own
music?
size, relatively speaking.
Oh.
How did you do this? It's laced with a particle I've never seen before.
They're called Pym particles.
Yeah.
And I'm Hank Pym,
Hi,
scientist
imagine that.
supreme. You should have knocked.
Oh, are we really about to just, I guess, stealing scientific data? I heard the Indian is absolutely brutal. What is that? Does he just have a whole bunch of like little trinkets on his desk? I mean, I have guns, a passport, rubber ducks, a couple of Xboxes.
You're using pieces of a white dwarf star? That's
Oh.
cute.
Everything we needed already existed. You just needed to be smart enough to put the pieces together. Scientist Supreme?
Okay, so they're you know, not super far apart when it comes to intelligence, maybe. Maybe. As of right now. It might be way different. But
Did you know that at any given moment, there are about 2.5 million ants under your feet?
I mean,
Huh?
that makes sense, but why are you bringing that up right now?
because of ants. Hello. Dude just got a sword. It came out of his belt. Yep, that's the way to do
Long
it.
enough?
Ooh.
Okay, let's try this.
Okay. Okay, the Crown Vic. Actually, is that a Chevy Caprice? I'm not sure. It looked kind of like it had a bow tie instead of the
You
oval.
lay low and let me know what you find.
Nice try.
Animation looks
Every
good.
electron path in his gun and study their probability wave functions. I just might be able to.
Oh. Oh, okay, we're getting smaller. The microverse. I like how they did that. They didn't give me like a day or a time or a location, like what country it's in. No, it's like London. Well, granted, there is actually London, England, and Canada.
What's happening? He must be reaching his limit. If we don't get out
Really?
of here quick, he's gonna destroy all of reality.
That might be his
my
plan.
pets. You have your tricks and your tools, but I created something beyond the limits of human existence. I operate on a scale you can't even comprehend.
Oh, really? You don't think you can comprehend? Now we're in the overspace.
How?
You can't be afraid to think big.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, Jesus. I have a new fear.
KO!
Ant-Man and Adam both
I
have
was wrong?
many answers to each other's abilities
Fair
and
enough.
arsenals. Both were able to store
Ants
various
made the
weapons in a
difference.
shrunken state. Both were trained in judo, and they both could obviously keep up with each other's ability to shrink at will.
Though there was one small thing Adam
Ants.
couldn't answer to. The ants! Hank's bond with his
What do you
pets
about the
led
ant
him some
problem?
small advantages, and Ray just didn't have enough anti-ant tools in his bio belt.
But in Adam's defense,
What
the fact
would
that he
Batman
could punch with
do?
a fist packed with all of his mass meant that a close-up fight,
If
while
he had to
small,
repair.
would leave Hank with few options since he can only punch with his normal human strength.
Even still, all Ant-Man would
Ooh.
need to do is keep his dissed ants with the help of his insect
Oh my God.
confidence and devise another plan of ant attack. Something Hank has no shortage of.
For instance,
Lord.
Ant-Man could alter Adam's size thanks to the Pym particle field he generates. Hank would just need to stall long enough to remove or disable Adam's biobelt, and he's had no trouble
Okay.
hacking enemy tech in the past.
But even
Okay,
with
that
the
does make
biobelt
sense, actually,
busted,
with the
it
whole
wouldn't
Ultron
stop
thing
Adam's
and-
ability to shrink,
Yeah.
since the white dwarf power is contained throughout his suit.
I thought he
Destroying
could have
the
went to a
belt only
different,
meant
that other
Ant-Man could
realm.
alter Adam's size.
Whereas Hank has literally rewritten his own biology
So he can't
to
be-
prevent outside size alteration.
That makes sense.
And while Adam's abilities are definitely impressive, they are limited. And Ant-Man
Do you agree or
simply
disagree? Let me know in the
aren't,
comment section.
At least by comparison. Hank could always match Ray's size or just take the fight to the overspace where he would have the edge, both physically and mentally.
The overspace can mess with the human mind.
Dude, the
but
fact that
we've
we're
seen that Hank
like
can
joining
handle it.
different
But if the scientist
pieces of
supreme
reality.
is really so smart, why didn't he just immediately go up Adam's butt and blow him up
Oh
from
my
the
god, the
inside?
Thanos.
What's wrong with you, Wiz? Aren't you a fellow man of science?
This is the meanest thing you've ever
He
done
could
to me.
have done that to Thanos
Sized
and
up
solved
Ant-Man,
so
but
many
in the
problems.
end, he was the one who had to say, Uncle.
The winner is Ant-Man.
Why did he say uncle? What? I don't... What was that
Thanks
pun
for
for?
watching. Stay tuned. We have a new Death Battle release.
What's the next one
every
gonna
2
be?
weeks this year.
Every
And click
2
the join
weeks.
button to get new
Okay.
perks and extra content. Planet level members even see death battles before anyone else, so don't miss out.
What's the next one gonna be? Hopefully I don't get to skip it. What are you? Is that Skyrim? I've never played Skyrim. Fun fact for you. It's definitely Skyrim. Oh, you're finally awake. Dark Souls versus Skyrim? Well, I actually have played Dark Souls. I think I did about 3 live streams of playing Dark Souls 3. Didn't get very far and stopped playing. It was very, very rough and very, very difficult. I got stuck on the giant tree boss or something. I don't know. It was a tree and it was very, very difficult for me as a new person that's ever played a Souls game or anything like it. But this is the Ant-Man versus Adam. I mean, after they said it, I can't really disagree with it. I wonder what the tally is between Marvel and Ant-Man. Now, I know a bunch of people leave facts down below in the comment section. Like I said, I do read every single one of your comments, so I'm sure you're going to give me a lot of insight as to why it makes sense, what else, or what they missed out on, if they got it right or wrong, and stuff like that. Because there's people that are just like, oh yeah, this is the tally mark for Marvel versus DC matchups, and who has the current record right now. I'm super excited for Season 10 to be back. I hope you're subscribed to see all my future videos. You can come on Patreon for $3 a month. Get all my reaction videos a day early, including my Attack on Titan reactions, which, oh my god, we're in Season 4, Part 2 right now. And once I don't know if I'm going to do... Oh, wait. I know that there is a Mikasa death battle, so I might do that. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I've skipped death battles periodically if they had spoilers for stuff. So all the JoJo ones I've skipped, and Metal Gear Solid games I've skipped, Zelda ones I've skipped, because I plan on reacting to or playing those games. But really hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the next one, but until then, take care, and cue the music.
We were